how do you process the Suns and looking at them for tonight?
Yeah, I guess the thing with the Suns right now is they're feeling good, and they're feeling like they weren't playing like themselves when they were here in Dallas, and I think that starts and ends with CP3. Um, he did not have a good time in Dallas last weekend. That's outside the inexcusable behavior of the Mavs fans in the stands. But he's been building this reputation as the ultimate closer. So I think not only is the pressure of will he have another game where he has 7 turnovers in the first half, or will he get into foul trouble again? I mean, two historically bad games for him. He had never had 7 turnovers in the first half in the playoffs. He had never had 4 fouls at the half. So like there is more pressure on CP being this closer that we've seen him to be, and if he's going to step up, because him being the point guard, him being the head of the snake, him being the wily vet, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to lead this team to close it out on the road.
3 storylines you're wanting to get into tonight.
Yeah, I'm going through my notes right now. I think there's like a lot of chippiness and a lot of talking going on in this series. And I think in any playoff series, I brought this up to Bismack Biyombo yesterday. And obviously, he had the whole run in with Chris in game 5. Just about, you get annoyed with another team, obviously, as the more and more playoffs go on. But I wanted to know if the tensions in this series are as high as he's felt before. And, he kind of shied away from it. But I do feel like there may be just a budding rivalry here, because you can even just look at how the MVP voting finished with Devin ahead of Luka, and everyone's saying that Luka's the best player in this series. Monty has been just beating into his guys' heads that we can't focus on anything outside the game. I mean, we saw the Mavericks, they got fined last weekend for, just what they do on the bench. They don't sit down. Theo Pinson, who's a good friend of Chris Paul, by the way, that's his whole job on the bench. Like Jason Kidd has called him the MVP of their team, because he has added this element of, bonding this group together and keeping them intense. But, and Devin loves to talk. Like he may look like, not to steal Steph Curry's nickname, but he may look like a baby face, but he's one of the one who's barking the most. And so how much is the talking and the intensity level of these two teams going to play into a pivotal game 6 where there's desperation? I also am interested to see the defense, because, these are two teams who pride themselves on defense. While defensive grit is something they have in common, they don't have pace in common. And so I think, the Suns want to control the pace by like getting up the court fast. And I'm also watching the others on the Mavs, because that's been a big storyline for them and how they win the game. If other people other than Luka show up, then, it's they're a formidable opponent for the Suns.